Hello and welcome back to Soft Girl CEO podcast. You're here today with Amy and Kira, and today we're going to talk about the productivity trap. And just before we started recording, Kira said something golden. So she is going to start.
I was going to say that I don't listen to any of the big business podcasts anymore because they really ram productivity down your throat. So I used to be like an avid listener of all the really big business podcasts, because the smaller ones I'd say probably don't do that, but the ones that are, you know, they've got like millions and millions of listeners, they're really not realistic. And I mean, it's very much like what we see on social media as well, but like it's not realistic to wake up at 5 a.m. And like, to be honest, as time has evolved, like obviously these people in these big business podcasts, like they have children and stuff like that. Like, realistically, they cannot be following the same routines that they were saying that they did before, but they somehow still manage to get up at 5 a.m, somehow still manage to do every single thing under the sun, go to the gym for 5 hours, just do a crazy day. And to be honest with you, it isn't, it's not sustainable and it's not realistic either. So I feel like we're just going to kind of debunk that, aren't we, a bit, because we run successful businesses and we don't get up at 5 a.m, go on a 50-mile run and then do our whole day. That's not sustainable or realistic.
Not at all. And it's just about bringing some reality to kind of business life and general life in general, I guess. I think the productivity trap definitely starts with social media and podcasts.
Yeah.
And when I first started listening to podcasts, the one thing that I actually found myself skipping, like I would naturally just skip a podcast if the title had anything to do with productivity or how I made X in X amount of time. And some people would say that that's like your imposter syndrome, kind of just not wanting to listen to it because you don't want to be told what to do or you don't think that you can achieve it. But to me, it was listening to it and I knew that I would listen to it and I would make myself feel bad.
Yeah.
And I would constantly blah, blah, blah. They're getting up at 5 a.m, they're doing this, they're doing that. But the one thing that they don't share with you on the podcast is the journey that they've been on and the struggles that they've been on and the reality of life. They just tell you kind of what you need to do to stay productive. And you think that by doing that, you're going to become what they are. And it's just not right. What you really need to be doing is living a life that suits you, that feeds you, that, you know, makes you feel good whilst also running a business. Now, for some people, that is getting up at 5 a.m. and doing a run. And if you are that person, go you. I'm not that person at all.
Yeah.
I don't get out of bed until 9 a.m. Sometimes I don't even get out of bed until 10 a.m. Now, 10 a.m. is a little bit steep for me. Sometimes I do kind of look at myself in the mirror and think, right, you need to get up an hour early, like, sort yourself out.
No, before 9 o'clock is like fine. And then like as soon as you, like, sometimes if I'm really tired, I've had a bad sleep and I'll sleep till 10, I get up and I'm like, oh God,
in the boat a little bit there.
But to be honest with you as well, the thing is we obviously built a business for freedom. So at the end of the day, sometimes I will get up at 10 a.m, but then more than likely the night before, I would have been working till extra late trying to get a client's website done or work on some new client ads. So it's like I still need to have the same amount of sleep, because definitely there's no way I can function on a small amount of sleep, but I don't have to, so why would I? No one's going to be there at 7 a.m. like, okay, you've gone to bed at 2 a.m. and you need to get up. So I will sleep until 10 because I want to get my 8 hours sleep. That is also why we did build a business, to be able to have the freedom to be able to do that. So, and obviously we are in like a bit later stages of our business. Don't get me wrong, like we're still unbelievably busy, especially this past week. We've been so busy.
So busy.
I think Amy's had a break in like 2 weeks.
I don't even know what sleep is at this point.
Yeah, literally.
I'm putting pins on my eyes just to keep me going.
But like at the very start, you're probably going to have to change your life a little bit, because if you're working alongside a job, you are going to get less sleep and stuff. Like that's what happened when I first started my business. I would work my normal job, then I would work on my business. So at that point, I was in a place where I was getting not that much sleep, and it was a sacrifice that I made at the start. But now we've come into it a bit, like we've had our businesses for longer, and also there's more boundaries in place as well, so that we can do those things.
And when you talk about boundaries, there's boundaries that you need to set on yourself. Coming back to this productivity and feeling like you need to constantly be doing something, it really does feed into social media.
100%.
And since I decided to make the conscious effort to build my business totally off of social media, because that's what felt right for me, I am not in this mindset anymore of feeling like I'm not doing enough, because it's just kind of like influencers as well. I'm not somebody that looks at myself in the mirror and goes, oh, I need to get that done. I need to go and do this done. I need to get that done. But people that follow influencers or follow people that are constantly posting really good pictures of themselves, you're going to start looking at yourself differently, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Thinking, I need to get this done. I need to get that done. And I don't do that. So I've never really looked in the mirror and think, oh, I need to get that done. Maybe I need to sort my grey hairs out once in a while, but that is literally it.
Yeah.
And it's the same for business. I don't follow influencers in my private life, so I don't have that reflection of what other people look like. And it's the exact same in business. I don't follow. Now I don't even go on social media. I don't pay attention to what anybody else is doing. And I feel like since I have made that agreement with myself that I'm going to come off of social media and I'm going to build this business so big without the need of it, and actually prove to myself and other people that you don't need social media to grow a very successful business, it's almost like, yeah, something's just released in me and I don't feel like I need to be constantly doing more. And there's reels all the time that it's like, it's you v you, don't worry about whatever anyone else is doing. And that's great. But subconsciously, when you are scrolling through Instagram late at night, looking at what everyone else has done, when people are saying that they're making 20K before they've even got up and had their cup of coffee, even if you do not believe them, subconsciously, you're taking note of that. And you are later on, when something happens, and you will go back to that reel and think, why aren't I earning that much? I need to be doing more. I need to be doing this. And there are so many people that think they know the hack to your life.
Yeah.
The only person that knows the hack to your life is you. And the only way that you're going to be more productive in a positive way, instead of, what was that saying that your dad said to you once?
Oh, he always, I can't remember, but I remember we spoke about it before, but
there's a difference between being
productive and being busy. And
yeah, and there
on this a lot, because when I ran my previous business, and I don't get it a lot with this business, now I differentiate between, okay, what is actually making me busy and what is actually being productive. So like productive things would be like things that are moving the needle, things that are like some client work that's really mundane, like admin-y kind of stuff, or even just like, even creating graphics and things like that. I don't do, because that's not really productive for me as the business owner. No. Before, when I ran my other business, well, I work from home now, but I was just in this trap where I was always on social media and always felt like I needed to be doing more, even though the things I was doing were never creating or generating more revenue. And I think most people that have a business know there is always something to do. And don't get me wrong, like a lot of the time, say one of my friends might be like, oh, like, do you want to do this? And I'll always have it, oh, I'm busy with work. And it's not a lie, because I will always find something to be busy with. But it just depends if I want to do it or not. But there will always be something to do, whether that's literally as simple as replying to some emails, or for us, like maybe doing outreach to businesses that might want to work with us, or like anything. You could always find something. But really, you have to differentiate between like, well, what's actually going to make your business grow? What's actually going to be like a needle moving task? Because otherwise, you're just keeping yourself busy. And when you get to this point, like, you need to buy back your time, because you can't just work 24/7. That's why you employ people to work with you. That's why you get VAs that can do the admin tasks, so that you can have more time doing the things that are actually going to make you more money. It's only been in like the last year or so that I've even been able to differentiate between, okay, no, I don't need to work this evening because I've done loads of needle moving tasks this afternoon. My team are taking care of the other stuff. And sometimes I'll even do it. I'll find things just to be busy, but it's a really hard differentiation between it, because you feel like if you're busy, even though you might not be getting anything meaningful done, you're still like, okay, well, I'm working on my business. Okay, well, I'm being productive, but you're not.
No, it makes you kind of feel good that you're busy. But if anything, you need to also learn this balance. And do you know what? There's a girl that I follow on Instagram, and do you know what? I love her content so much. And I can't remember her name. I think it's Mia. And she was talking about work-life balance and how it shouldn't be work-life balance. It should be work with life.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't look at it as like you're working and then you're living. You should look at it in a whole of like, I'm constantly living, and the work is kind of, it's part of that.
Yeah.
It's a percentage of me living.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of work and life. I think every single business owner goes through this. They go through what really feeds it is the social media or looking around you and feeling like you're not doing enough because other people around you are playing with the figures and telling you they're earning more than they actually are. And then it just feeds this, okay, I need to be working harder, but you don't, you need to be working smarter.
Yeah.
And then you think, okay, well, to get there, I need to be working 9-10 hours a day. And if I have a day off, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, I just went through a phase of really trying to grow a business. And I've realized the more that I lean back and the more that I start doing in life, the more that I start doing for myself, going traveling, living on my own now with my partner, giving myself freedom in life, my business flourishes. Flourishes. And it's just crazy because all the time that I was trying to grow this business back in my little box room, I was so stuck and I was just working so hard, working 10 hours a day. To the point where I literally lost my soul. One of my best friends said to me, Amy, I can't speak to you anymore because I feel like you're talking to me like a client. It hit me so hard. And I just thought, wow, I have lost myself. All I am is business Amy. I actually don't know who I am outside of business now. Nothing was happening in the grand scheme of growth. I was just yo-yoing. I was attracting kind of clients who wanted me for a few months and then didn't, like businesses that aren't really ready for you, but they think they're ready for you, and then they get you and then they realize, oh wait, actually we don't have the foundations in place for you them kind of clients. I was just attracting those types of clients and it was just yo-yoing up and down. I was working so hard and then I was coming back, and ever since I've been out here and I've removed myself from social media and being sucked into this, you need to be doing more all the time, even though they're not actually telling you to do more, are they? They're not people actually getting on the camera going, do more. It's all the subconscious stuff from that reel, that is making you feel like you need to be doing more. Ever since I stepped away from that and kind of just gave my head a break and started enjoying life more, I started attracting much more secure clients who are ready for the work. They are ready to work with me. They're eager to work with me. And it's such a beautiful feeling. This productivity thing, you have to learn. You really do have to learn when to shut off from business you and keep you as who you are when you go out and socialize with your friends. And I think what's just come up for me is even when you're doing like the gym, and we do it, we'll be on the treadmill and we'll start answering messages, right? We're both bad for that. That's where the grey area. That is the grey area, because you're bringing business into life. Going to the gym is actually for you. It's actually for your health. It's actually so that you can, look good and feel good. But actually what you're doing is you're doing that whilst in the headspace of business. Yeah. And even though sometimes it probably doesn't affect you too much and, it doesn't affect me too much either, but it's all those little things and build up.
To be honest with you, actually, I think in the last few months I have been better, probably since we started speaking about it more. I remember when you put in your story about taking a break and I was like, I feel like I can never take a break. I don't know if you remember us having that conversation and you're like, you need to take a break, and I was like, yeah, but I have this thing where I just feel like if I'm not doing much, I could be doing something productive. And that is the trap. That is the trap of it, and that is how social media has made us feel. Because definitely like back when our parents were younger, I doubt they felt like that because they didn't have the influence of it, feeling like everybody else was doing more and you're just going to get left behind if you don't keep up. And that's kind of like what it is. And it's especially different in our line of work, especially me as an agency owner, because there's so many agency owners or people that teach agency owners how to get to 10K a month, 15K, and they're putting up screenshots of their month, which is like just on 100K a month. And it's like, that's great. But they're making it seem like they've literally not had a wink of sleep to get there. They're doing all of these things. And obviously it is great, but realistically, like a lot of that does come from their personal branding. That is what it is. And their personal branding is them showing how hard they work and everything like that, which is actually how they've made that money. It's not because they run their agencies, because you are watching them be someone that you want to be. So you're buying their course and then they're making 100K. So it is absolutely, it is massively just kind of from social media. And I think now as well, in the last like 6 months, I have just seen how social media is an absolute lie. Like, it is a lie, and we're gonna talk about that. And that is also part of the reason why, like, on this podcast, we want to be very transparent and authentic. Like, we're not going to pretend we get up at 5 a.m. to run our businesses because we don't. Like, I get up at 8 o'clock.
No.
If Amy wants to jump on the podcast earlier than 9 o'clock, it's a struggle.
Hard no.
But yeah, I just completely like digress. But like, I even on the treadmill, I'd be like, right, I'm going to do half an hour on the treadmill. I would be watching an educational YouTube video. That is mainly the thing that I would do, because I'd be like, well, I can watch it. I'm learning something. And I'm also, if it's half an hour long, going to get my whole treadmill thing done. But realistically, that is not as enjoyable as watching something I would actually probably want to watch, like a series or something. But like, if I'm watching, there wouldn't really be a time where I'd be watching Netflix on my own. I watch something with my friends or like my housemate, but like, it's unlikely I would ever sit and watch telly on my own, because genuinely, I don't think I'll ever get rid of the voice in the back of my head going, you're wasting time. So I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. Unless I'm hungover, then I will just watch Netflix.
I do 100% get you about watching movies on your own. I struggle as well. You know, luckily I've got my partner, so
yeah. See,
we
that's
use
fine.
each other.
Yeah.
To, like, I say to him, like, when are you stopping? Or he'll say to me, like, when are you stopping? And we'll put a time on it and we stop.
Yeah, that's good.
And well, we try to stop anyway, and then we'll watch a movie. But, you know, when I didn't have him around, there would be no just sitting and watching a movie on my own.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of have that thing in your head. But also,
and I don't think that's because of social media. That's from personality, I think, as well.
I think it also does come down to how much you enjoy your job.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
Same.
You know, in those kind of instances, like if I was on my own one evening, I would stop client work, try and watch a movie, probably last 5 minutes, and then I'll go and do my own admin for me.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't go and then do client work, because that's not necessarily the part of my business that, like, you know, really lights me up.
Yeah.
I enjoy working with everyone that I work with, but it's, you know, I'm not going to go, oh, I'm going to go and do this.
Yeah.
You know? But what I will do is I'll go and work on me, and I'll go and work on my business and what I need to do to scale that business, because that's part of the business that is one of the most important parts. And
Definitely,
also it's something that really does light me up inside. And if you genuinely enjoy doing that, then I don't see any problem in it.
Definitely.
It's only if you're feeding into this, like, I need to constantly be doing more, you know, if you're out with your friends and all you've got in your head. Because at one point I was like this. I would be with my friends and they'd be talking to me and they wouldn't really be talking to me. I wasn't listening. I was just thinking about the next thing that I had to do.
Yeah.
And I was so not present. I had to really practice being present in the moment. And I think even now, my partner will be talking to me, and we actually caught each other out about it a few weeks ago when we were walking through Bangkok. We were just walking, he was talking to me, and I turned around to him and I just went, I'm sorry, I didn't get a word of that.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about business.
I do that quite a lot. My housemate does get quite annoyed.
Yeah, and do you know what? 3 minutes later, caught him out doing it. I said something. He responded totally not what you would respond to what I asked him. And I just went, were you even listening? And he was like, no, I was just thinking about business.
Yeah, I'll be on my phone and I'll do it. Say if I'm on my phone, and I do have like a work phone and I have my personal phone, but to be honest with you, they are mixed a lot. The only thing I have my work phone for is my WhatsApp. Like, no one's going to contact my personal number, but emails, Instagram, anything related to business in that way is on my personal phone. So like, it's right, I'll be out, or I'll be like, I don't know, say I'm out for dinner or something, and I see an email come up. Instantly, I just feel like I need to, even if I'm not going to respond, because I probably won't respond, I need to read it anyway. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, yes. And someone's talking to me, and I'm like, you're not listening, are you? And I'm like,
yeah.
What did you say? Okay. I'm like, I don't do that. And they're like, you do that. And I'm like, okay, I do that.
I am that person. And I think, do you know what? I think everyone listening to us is going to be nodding their head, because I think it's just a trait that a lot of people have. And especially with the phones, I have 2 phones. And really, my business phone is just the number that my clients contact me on. Same. And then my other phone is, but they mingle. I've got Instagram on both the phones of my clients, you know? Yeah. And everything like that connects. So yeah, if you did want to go that far with kind of, you know, productivity and getting away from that feeling, you'd have to even differentiate that. And I think it's just difficult. It is a really difficult situation. And I don't think we necessarily come on this podcast to kind of give a teaching. I think we're more here to say, guys, we do it too. Yeah. And it's normal. And every single business person that I've ever met has gone through this as well. And most of them still go through it. There's no real cure, even though social media makes you think there's an answer. There's not.
No.
You're always thinking about business. There's people online that say, you know, I only worked 4 hours this week. If that statement is true in your eyes, you probably opened the laptop for 4 hours. But I can guarantee you, your brain was working 24/7, because everybody who is a business owner, their brain works 24/7. You just have to have the boundaries and the discipline, in a sense, to try and move yourself away from it. But there's no answer to it. It's just kind of what works for you. I have to leave my phones in another room so that I do not get distracted, but it doesn't stop my brain from continuously thinking.
Look at this. I've got this. This is a phone lockbox, because genuinely, I cannot pick up my phone. If I work for a long time, like I had to lock my phone in this for 6 hours the other day. And then my sister was calling me and I couldn't even answer the phone. So I was like, oh, my phone's locked away. You cannot get into it.
So actually, just completely, like, there's no side.
My personal phone, I will put in there. If I'm like, I don't do it very often, but I do get massively distracted by my phone.
Yeah.
I'm easily distracted. So I got that because I was like, right. And don't get me wrong, I've seen that on Instagram and I listened to a podcast and he talks about how he locks his phone away. And I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. Let me do it. But I don't do it all the time. I do it if I'm thinking, right, I need to do work where I actually can't get distracted.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of like, you can see that there's like these gaps in it. And I'm still kind of like, no, nothing's happening over there. I'm like, even if there was, I can't get it anyway.
Well, I think that kind of concludes. Everyone is in the same boat. There really isn't this magic formula to not feeling as though there's no magic formula in feeling like you've kind of got it all figured out and got it always going to feel like you need to be doing more. But listening to social media, like what I've done, I just made a commitment to myself that I'm going to grow this thing without social media. And since I stepped away, it has doubled. My business has, and that, I think, genuinely, it's because I made that commitment that I'm just not doing social media anymore. Even though I'm a huge advocate for personal branding, but for the right thing.
Yeah.
I genuinely will say this now. I don't believe that you need to have a personal brand to build a very successful online service business.
Yeah, no.
If you want a social media, even a social media marketing manager, a personal assistant, a online business manager, an operations person, ads, you can comment on that one, but I genuinely feel like there is enough support out there other than social media to get you clients.
Oh, 100%.
If you really want to do it. Because I feel like, actually, and we'll go down this and I probably would get cancelled by a lot of coaches saying this, but I genuinely believe that social media, unless you genuinely need a personal brand because you want to sell a course or you want to become a coach or you are a doctor and you want to share your name, which yes, absolutely, or you're a product-based business because yes, personal branding and branding
you definitely need,
But other than that, social media could just be a distraction. It could just be actually something that you're spending all your time doing while I'm spending my time doing something else to go and get those clients.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll probably touch on this in our next episode, won't we? I am in the kind of space at the moment where I am trying to like do the content and stuff, but then again, like, it's not because I want to sell a course, but I do want to help people grow their e-commerce businesses. So because, to be honest with you, in terms of clients, I don't get established clients coming to me really through Instagram. I get so many people coming to me saying, please, can you help me build my e-commerce business? And I don't have the facilities to be able to help every single one-on-one person. So that's why I'm trying to build up so I can actually just help those people and like just do like a kind of community where I can help them and videos and things like that. But that is definitely something we'll go into, deep dive into in another episode. Maybe the next episode, I'm not sure, but yeah, an episode soon for sure. Oh, it's not. It's just about social media, isn't it? But yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Come and let us know your thoughts on the productivity, and you know, if you ever want to know how and what we do on a deeper level, then please follow along on the Soft Girl CEO podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Come and follow us, come and support us. And we just want to bring some reality to the business world, being 25 and being a business owner and go through all of our experiences and actually just show you what life is like. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you.